Breaking news! The Baltimore Ravens fans are thrilled with a piece of news that leaked in the last few hours. I confess that I was very happy. If this really comes to fruition, it will be a great addition to John Harbaugh's team. This video will be very objective and without any fuss. In the last few hours, this news came out. Odell Beckham Jr. may be on his way to the Ravens. I want to know from you, do you think OBJ should return to the Baltimore Ravens? If so, press the like button hard. And if possible, write this: I want OBJ on the Ravens. This subject has generated a lot of excitement behind the scenes at the Baltimore Ravens among fans and analysts. With the Ravens facing questions about their depth at wide receiver, Beckham's name has resurfaced as a potential answer. But how realistic is his return, and would it really benefit the team on the field? The discussion begins with the Ravens reportedly considering wide receiver options, especially amid ongoing uncertainty with players like Deontay Johnson. Beckham's previous tenure with the Ravens and his familiarity with the offensive system under coordinator Todd Monken naturally make him a name worth discussing. However, OBJ's 2023 season with the Miami Dolphins didn't inspire much confidence. Signed by the Dolphins in hopes of making an impact, Beckham has struggled with injuries and recorded just 9 receptions for 55 yards. Those numbers are in stark contrast to the explosive performances fans have come to associate with his name early in his career. The question becomes whether OBJ's current form aligns with the Ravens' needs. While he brings experience and leadership, his diminished explosiveness raises doubts about how much he could genuinely contribute on the field. Ravens fans are no strangers to seeing big-name players take on reduced roles. But is Beckham the right choice to strengthen the receiving core? Some analysts argue that his prior chemistry with quarterback Lamar Jackson could be a factor, though his lack of production with Miami this year suggests it might not be enough to make a significant difference. Comparisons to the Ravens' current receivers further complicate the discussion. The team has emerging talents like Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman, both of whom have shown flashes of brilliance this season. Some argue that adding Beckham could hinder their development by taking away snaps and targets. At the same time, veterans like Nelson Agholor have also contributed, leaving questions about whether Beckham would truly bring something unique to the mix. While OBJ's reputation precedes him, it's hard to ignore that his current performance may not stack up against these players. One area where Beckham undoubtedly shines is his locker room presence. Known for his leadership and experience, he could bring value off the field even if his on-field production remains limited. The Ravens have long prioritized strong team culture, and Beckham's personality could be a good fit. However, relying on his intangible qualities might not be enough to justify a roster spot, especially when considering the team's overall depth at the position. Looking at the Ravens' strategy, there's a case to be made for and against pursuing Beckham. Some see it as a feel-good move, a way to bring back a familiar face and energize the fan base. Others argue that the team's focus should remain on developing younger talent and addressing more pressing needs. With the Ravens already navigating a crowded receiver room, it's unclear whether Beckham would truly provide the boost the team needs to solidify its playoff push.
Fan opinions are equally divided. Many still remember OBJ's electrifying highlights from his time with the New York Giants and hope he could recapture some of that magic in a Ravens uniform. Others, however, view him as a player past his prime, with injury concerns and declining production overshadowing his past accomplishments. This divide highlights the complexities of the situation and underscores why the Ravens front office will need to weigh their options carefully. Adding to the intrigue is how a move for Beckham might impact the Ravens' offensive dynamics. Incorporating him into the game plan would require adjustments from both Lamar Jackson and the coaching staff. Jackson's ability to distribute the ball effectively has been a key factor in the team's success, but bringing in Beckham might shift the focus away from other playmakers. Whether that's a risk worth taking remains up for debate. As the conversation continues, it's clear that Beckham's potential return to the Ravens isn't just about his individual talent. It's about how he fits into a broader picture that includes team chemistry, development of younger players, and the overall direction of the franchise. What do you think, Ravens fans? Would OBJ's return be a spark for the team, or is it time to look elsewhere? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. As the Baltimore Ravens locker room and coaching staff continue to process the developments from the week, the focus shifts to the immediate implications of the injury, the adjustments necessary for the upcoming games, and how the team plans to maintain their momentum in an already competitive AFC North division. The absence of a key player like this disrupts not only the on-field dynamic, but also the psychological energy of the squad. Yet, the Ravens have historically been a team that thrives under adversity, and the current situation is no exception. Head coach John Harbaugh's press conference earlier today provided insight into how the team plans to move forward. When asked about the players' recovery timeline, Harbaugh was cautious, emphasizing that the organization's priority is the athlete's long-term health and well-being over a hasty return. "We're not putting a specific timeline on it," Harbaugh stated. "Every injury is unique, and we're going to follow the advice of our medical team to ensure the best possible outcome. He's a fighter, and we know he'll do everything in his power to get back as soon as he can." Harbaugh also addressed how the team plans to fill the void left by this critical absence. He highlighted the depth of the roster, praising the team's younger players and the coaching staff's ability to adapt strategies on the fly. "We've built this roster with depth and flexibility in mind," Harbaugh explained. "This is an opportunity for other guys to step up, and I have every confidence that they will." One of the biggest questions now is who will step into the role and how that shift might impact the Ravens' game plan. Already, speculation is swirling around whether players like Patrick Queen or Roquan Smith might adjust their roles to take on additional responsibilities. On the offensive side of the ball, Lamar Jackson's leadership becomes even more pivotal. As the quarterback and face of the franchise, Jackson has always been known for his ability to rally the team in challenging circumstances. Sources within the team say Jackson has already been vocal in meetings, emphasizing the importance of staying united and focused on the task at hand. Special teams coordinator Chris Horton also weighed in, noting that any injury to a major contributor has ripple effects across all phases of the game. "This isn't just about one position group," Horton commented. "It's about how we, as a team, adjust and make sure there's no drop-off in our overall performance. We've faced challenges before, and we'll face them again. It's how you respond that defines you." Ravens fans have taken to social media to share their thoughts, with many expressing concern but also showing unwavering support for the injured player and the team. The hashtags #RavensFlock and #InHarbsWeTrust have been trending, as fans rally behind the coaching staff's ability to navigate this setback. "Injuries are part of the game," one fan tweeted. "But if there's any team that knows how to overcome them, it's the Ravens." Another fan shared, "We've got the depth, we've got the grit. Time to prove it." The timing of this setback couldn't be more critical as the Ravens prepare to face a string of tough opponents in the coming weeks. Their next matchup is against the Cleveland Browns, a team that's been surging in the standings and boasts a formidable defense. Analysts are already speculating about how the Ravens will adjust their schemes, particularly in light of Cleveland's strong pass rush led by Myles Garrett. The absence of a key player on Baltimore's roster could force Harbaugh and his staff to get creative, perhaps leaning more heavily on Jackson's mobility or utilizing the running game to control the clock and limit Cleveland's offensive opportunities. Beyond the immediate tactical adjustments, the Ravens' long-term outlook remains a topic of discussion. This team has always prided itself on its next-man-up mentality, a culture fostered by Harbaugh and reinforced by veterans in the locker room. Players like Mark Andrews and Marlon Humphrey have already stepped into leadership roles, ensuring that younger teammates stay focused and prepared. What do you think, Ravens flock? How should the team adjust to this latest challenge? Who do you see stepping up in the absence of such a key player? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and stay tuned as we bring you all the latest updates on this developing story. Remember, it's not just about one game or one player, it's about the heart and soul of the Ravens organization. Let's keep that spirit alive as we move forward together.